Hello everyone, hello. I am back. I'm back from a couple of weeks away in Argentina. I've got my Argentina outfit on. Actually, I'll see if I can show you. Bought these shorts in Argentina. So I got my outfit on. And I got a couple of lessons from overseas. So I might start in the, hey Nick, how you doing? I might start in a couple of minutes. I'll give you a minute of this. The Sunday Beach Inspiration. Welcome back to the Gold Coast. What an amazing place this is. So hello to everyone that's joining in. I can see you guys coming there. Check out how cracker of a day this is. And there's about 15 of our dogs back there. But I'm just gonna sit back for a second so I can give you a bit of a message. But how awesome is this? Hey Attila, you're back. So 15 dogs, but what a cracker day. What an amazing day here on the Gold Coast. So happy to be back here. I love this beach and I hope that you guys get to share this as well. So I'll start this in about a minute. Morning Ed, good to see you mate. Yeah, good to see you Attila. Good to see you. Really happy that I'm back here. So I'll start this message in a second. I just want to share how awesome this day is. And I'll tell you what, being overseas in Argentina, and there's beautiful places in the world, but you don't realize how lucky you are until you go overseas. And that's what this message will be about. You go overseas and you see what people go through and their challenges and stuff like that. And you realize how lucky and how blessed you really are. But you don't see that till you go overseas, and that'll be part of this message here. So I'll just give this a minute as we walk towards the dogs over there. But hopefully if you like this day and you watch this later, just keep pressing like, press that little thumbs up button and see if you like this. It's beautiful. The only thing I'm going to watch out for is that if you hear me screaming, it's because there's blue bottles in the water and stingers. So that'll be a great video, won't it, if I get stung? You guys will probably like that. Alright, so I think it's been about a minute and I'll start. Yeah, someone's liked the fact that I could get stung. Thanks guys, whoever that was. An overseas lesson. So now that we're starting a bit of an audience, I'll start giving you this overseas lesson. So I wrote down, you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. And while I was overseas, there's a few different things that I noticed, and a few opportunities, and business opportunities too if you wanted to do it, but as well as life and what people go through. And then I came back here and I noticed it a little bit more as well. Hey Jane Sexton, how you doing? The thing I noticed, so when I went overseas, I'll start with the story, because they say whenever you do a speech at a stage or on stage, you don't make a point without a story, you don't tell a story without a point. So here's the story so far, so I can tell you the point later. When I went overseas, I went to Buenos Aires, which is a city, the capital city of Argentina, and the place is packed. If you saw my videos, you'll see the place is packed. Beautiful place. I thought it'd be a bit more backwards, but it's not. It's basically like us, but with thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. Looks awesome. It does, doesn't it? Hey, how you doing, Eden? All the way from Adelaide. I know who you are. So Argentina, the city was packed, and there's people of different, there's different statures. So you see rich people, normal people, just like you do here. But because there's so many people, I might take my sunnies off. Because there's so many people, there's also a lot of poverty there. So you get to see things like, if you look at my videos, there's people begging in the streets for there's quite a few people begging in the streets for some water. There's people begging for food. Here's a stray dog. There we go. So I get distracted by the dogs. But yeah, there's people begging for stuff. So there's homeless people, and when I'm in homeless, I've seen homeless people in Brisbane. But these guys, when you see this, and I know you're all going to say, oh, but yeah, that's over there. It doesn't happen to me. My life is terrible. Blah blah blah. But I think when you go and experience something, that's when you start to realise how lucky you really are. And I think we've got to stop whinging and complain about how our lives are terrible and how, we don't have what we want when you go and see things like this. So, sorry, I'll just take my hat off. Too beautiful a day. So I went over there, and the homeless people, there's heaps of them, but they basically have their belongings in one bag, and they're sleeping on the ground in between whatever the crevices are in the banks and stuff, at the entries. And they have to wrap their feet in plastic bags so it doesn't get cold, because it's cold over there. And yes, we are very lucky, and I think a lot of us don't realise that. The secret to, I've said this, the secret to having it all is knowing that you already do. You're actually living someone else's fairy tale, but a lot of us don't realise that, and we get depressed and anxious and stuff like that, not realising that you actually are living a pretty damn freaking good life. So anyway, getting back onto this. Like, there's people over there that they have to wrap their legs and feet in plastic bags so they don't get cold. When you see stuff like that, and I helped a few of them out, and I bought them pizzas and I gave it to them and asked them if they can pass on, the secret to giving things away, I think, is you give them something big. So, give them a whole pizza, but say, I want you to go to another homeless person and give them 1 or 2 pieces as well. Pass it on, pay it forward. Even if you're homeless, you can still pay it forward. Whatever you've got, you can give and you can pay it forward. That's important. And I did a lot for them while I was there, but that's a different story. So yeah, they have to wrap their feet in plastic bags to keep warm. Then you're going around places, and obviously there's war veterans and stuff like that, where they've had to have their legs amputated. So they have no legs, and they're in wheelchairs begging for some food because the government pension that they get isn't really a lot of money. And you don't realise that, and some people say, oh, don't give them anything, they can go get a job. It's not that easy sometimes. You can't just be that mean to other humans and say, go get a job, when they're probably struggling and there's thousands and thousands of people there. That's not fair. If you're doing better off, there's nothing stopping you from sharing with somebody else. Anyway, so we saw people like that, you know, busking in subways, asking for money, people asking for stuff like that. And you don't realise how lucky you are until you see people in that situation where they're sad and depressed because they can't get themselves out of a hole. And I reckon sometimes these people aren't educated and don't realise they have the potential and the strength and the skills, or just the know-how of maybe trying to get better, but they don't realise that. No one tells them they can do better, so they're stuck in this hole. So it's not fair to say that to somebody. They can go and fix them their own problems. Sometimes you need a hand. You know, you never should put someone down. You should always reach out and try to pick them up. And the rest of the story goes, when I went to do some shopping, there was an attendant, a cashier attendant, and that's where I basically bought these shorts from. And the lady was complaining about how the government, or there's some rule that they don't get paid for the extra hours, or they had to work on their day off, and it's just not fair, and they had to cut down their wages because of the government's corruption, and how the government's got to pay back this big debt. Well, sorry, the past president's corruption. They're not there anymore. So the country's left with this big debt, and now they've got to work towards paying it. So she was whinging about that, and I felt like saying, why don't you go down the road to the person that's sleeping with plastic bags around their legs? Why don't you go down the road and tell that to the person that hasn't got any legs, and ask them to go and walk and get a job? So I think you need to check yourself. Then we come back here, and this is the rest of the point that I'm going to make, right? So there's the stories. You don't realise how lucky you are till you go and you see some other country or some other person doing it hard, and then you realise the blessings that you have. So we don't realise how blessed we are until someone else, and I can tell you the story, but unless you experience it yourself, you're never going to really truly know what I'm talking about. So then I come back here, and I see people that are depressed or anxious, and they're thinking that they're not really achieving much in their life. Sorry, I'm going to do that. And I think that comes from something deeper, all right? And this is where I'm going to get a little bit more, I suppose, I don't know, deep and meaningful with you. Check out these dogs, loving the water. I'm going to get deep and meaningful with you. Hey Nicole, how you doing? And Eddie, hey Eddie. So I come back here, and I see people depressed with their lives, feeling lost and, you know, anxious and just not feeling like they're accomplishing much, when yet you are actually living someone else's fairy tale, and you think your life is hard, but you have no idea how hard it is in the world. So I think there's a disconnect, and this is where I'm going to get a bit deep with you guys. There's a disconnect with what you think you want and what your soul wants. And I think that's where the problem lies with people being depressed and people being anxious and people not being happy in their lives. It's because you're disconnected, because you think you want something, but your soul wants something else. And that's where the problem lies. We're too busy getting materialistic things. Now I'm going to ask you guys, what is the essence of who you are? So I'm getting deep with these Sunday beach inspirations, but I think it's needed in this time, especially towards Christmas. What is the essence of who you are? So if you take away all your materialistic things, you take away all your materialistic things. So if someone, you know, you probably don't know who you are, but I can tell you, I know who I am. Hey, as I get all this water and dogs, how you doing? Check this out. He's on a live feed. Say hi to everybody. Gotta love being on the beach. All right, what is the essence of who you are? So if I took away all your materialistic things, what are you left with? Who is this person that you're with? And I can tell you, when I went overseas, I didn't have anything. No one knew who I was. No one knew anything about me at all. No one. And I didn't have anything there. We were walking the streets. I just had my clothes that I was on. So if you took away, you can take away the Porsche, the BMW, my properties, the money, everything that I've got. You can take all of that away, and I can still tell you who I am, because what I love to do is, what feeds my soul is what I want you guys to do. What feeds my soul is helping other people. And hopefully when someone describes who I am, they don't say, oh, here's the guy with the Porsche, the properties and the money and whatever else. And you know, hopefully they don't say that. They say Eddie's the kind of person, he's a giving person, he's an inspiring person. He loves to help people. That is the essence of who I am. So if you take away all the materialistic things, and I love materialistic things, right? I do love it. But if you take all that away, I'm still the same person. You can take everything away, you can't break what's inside here. And I think that's what everyone needs to know. You should have something inside there. So you take all that away, and I can tell you the essence of who I am. That's what truly makes me happy. I've never been happier than helping the homeless people there, helping someone that was pushing their husband or father in a wheelchair through a city where the footpaths are broken. No one helped that poor lady up and down the curbs. I helped her out. We grabbed flowers. We bought flowers, and if you followed my vlogs, we bought flowers and took it to the cemetery for the people that were, you know, the cemetery's super old, you should check it out, it's on my Facebook page. The cemetery was built in 1800s. There's family lines that weren't there anymore, that aren't there anymore, and no one's taking care of them. They're amazing mausoleums, you should check it out on my Facebook page. But no one was there to give them some love. We bought some flowers and dropped them off. I mean, that's the kind of person I am. That fed my soul, and I took that, and my dad and my sister came with me, and I think you could just see they were just so into it. It feeds your soul, and that is what really you should be about. So you get depressed and sad and anxious because what you're seeking isn't connected to what you really want in your soul. And I know I'm getting deep, but that is probably the source of a lot of people's unhappiness, because what you're chasing, what you think your dream is, isn't really your dream. And I'll say that again, what you're chasing, what you want, and it's okay to want this stuff, but what you're chasing, all these materialistic things and better cars and better houses and money and careers and stuff, that's great. But you understand, if you're not happy, it's because there's something in here that's not feeding your soul. I'm not saying stop doing any of that. I'm just saying maybe add something in. Go and help out the homeless, go and help out someone. Find out what you truly want to do. I think as humans, we're here to help a lot of people, but a lot of us don't do that. And that's where the sadness comes in, because you're chasing stuff that's not there. There's 3 things that we need. And I've said this before: health, wealth, and happiness. And it's not even in that order. I think you need, so health, wealth, and happiness. Or health, wealth, happiness, and love. Let's make it 4. Health, wealth, happiness, and love. The order I think we want it in is you want love, you want health, you want wealth, and oh, maybe I got that wrong. Sorry, health, wealth, happiness, and love. You want love, you need health, you want happiness, and then you obviously need the money. But I don't know if I got that in the right order again. But I'm going to say that with you, right? So a lot of us probably just want to be wanted. A lot of us just want some love. A lot of us want someone to like us, and that's what your whole problem is. So if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to be happy. You can't rely on other people to make you happy when there's something that's missing in here. And I think that's where your disconnect is. You need to find out what that disconnect is and make it better. So it's not about money, it's not about materialistic things. Check it in. There's a disconnect between what you want in here and what you want in your soul. So I'm going to end it with this as I walk down the beach. And I know it's a deep and meaningful inspiration, and there's people watching me. And hopefully they'll watch this message later on, right? But I'm ending with this. I'm not going to say to go ahead and keep being awesome today. I don't want you to go ahead and keep being awesome. Today I'm going to end it with this, and I'm going to end it quickly. I want you to go and help other people, especially for Christmas, where there's families that don't have people, there's friends that don't have people, someone that's going to be spending it on their own. I want you to connect back with what's in your soul that you might not even know what you want, but I can tell you it's that. There's a disconnect there. Find out what's in your soul, and what makes you happy is going to be hanging around positive people, hanging around people that inspire you, hanging around people that love you. That's the kind of thing that you're going to want. So over Christmas, make sure you go and make someone else's life better. Go and put a smile on someone's face. So instead of you keep being awesome, I want you to go and help someone else be awesome. That's my message for today. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Press like, and if you can, seriously, this message more than ever, I need you to comment and I need you to share it. So if you're watching this and you're right to the end, please share this message. You can tag anyone you want, but share this on your Facebook page. I think this is really important coming up over Christmas. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I'm going to end it like that. See ya. Peace.